Hi, it's another episode. Are you excited? Welcome to episode 2 of Singleness in Scripture. Today we have things to talk about and we have a thing to do. And guess what the thing is? We have an auto haul. You know me, you know I love makeup. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on how God's been working in my life and what I've been up to and his involvement in it. I'm excited, so let's get into this bag. Okay, thank you. I don't need to be bronzed like the other girlies do, but I do want to glow to the face. So I picked this up and I'm excited to try it under my foundation just to give like a lighter glow from within, you know, the one that Jesus gives you. Last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, going to training for work downtown. So I don't know why, or I don't remember why, but I had taken my ID out of my wallet for something. I was going into a store and didn't want to take my entire wallet because it's kind of thick. I do that often, and I set it on my vanity where I'm at right now. And I had a feeling, I was like, okay, like next time I remember, I have to put my ID back in my wallet because I'm not gonna remember, and then I'm gonna need it, and then it's just gonna be this whole thing because I need my ID because I'm 21 now. So I had taken my ID and put it in my jean pocket because I didn't have time. I was rushing in the morning. I couldn't put it in my wallet pocket. So I was like, okay, like when I get to training and settled and stuff, I'm gonna just go ahead and put the ID in my wallet and then everything will be fine. So that morning I decided to go get coffee, and I had ordered the coffee, paid for it, and I had to leave it there because I was gonna be late for training and I did not want to look unprofessional. Like, please no. And I left my dirty try on the counter and they were probably like, where is this person? I left it there because I did not want to be late. So I made it to training on time, and I get there and my ID's not in my pocket. It's not there. I looked both front pockets, both back pockets, my wallet, and my bag, and it wasn't there. Where's my ID? Because now I'm mad. And then I started thinking like, dang, like I've always wanted a landscape ID when I turned 21. Now I'm like finna have a landscape ID because I'm 21, and then like my youth is gone, and then and then I told my mom. She was like, oh, what if somebody finds it and then they can access your stuff? So I'm just like really irritated at this point. I'm like, bro, like just another thing on my plate. Now I have to go to DMV. Now I have to wait in that line. Now I have to do my makeup queue to take a picture because that last picture, the picture I have on my ID now, is crazy. Like, it's bad. So I was like, okay, like I have to do all this stuff. Another thing added onto my plate. Not having it. Wasn't feeling the vibe. But there was something inside of me that had a sense of peace. Okay, this is the Makeup Forever HD Hydro Glow Foundation. I mean, I was irritated, but I wasn't as irritated as I could have been. And I knew not to get that irritated because I didn't feel that sense of urgency and worry, you know? And I know usually when I have that feeling that something I lost is gonna come back, or God is gonna do something to make it, you know, not as stressful, or make it, you know, like not that big of a deal and easy to deal with. If you know, you know. Like, if you just know that feeling, then you know what I'm talking about. But I just had that feeling, and I lost it for like maybe 2-3 days, and I wasn't really like tripping off of it. I was just more or less just like, every time I was reminded of it, I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, like I'll just stop thinking about it because I'm not gonna worry about it if I have this feeling of it's taken care of. And so I didn't. Oops, spoiler, this is how my makeup came out. Anyways, I forgot to tell you how I ended up finding my ID. So a few days go by, I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about it. Like, God's gonna bring me back my ID one way or another. Like, this has happened in my life before, let me just wait it out. I told my mom, and usually I wait to tell my mom things, but I told my mom. It's like, hey mom, I lost my ID. And then I told you, like, oh, she was like, oh, people, be careful, people can use your information, stuff like that if they find it. Okay, and then I get home and I find something in the mail. It was an envelope for my job. And I was like, okay, like maybe this is like something having to do with my job. Like, I don't know, it could be anything really. So I open it and it's my ID. in the envelope. I lost my dang ID card at training. It fell out of my pocket when I was sitting down or something. And I thought I had lost it in the parking lot of the coffee shop or something when I was rushing. No, I lost it at work and I didn't even know. The safest place to find your ID card is literally. And then I told my mom, I was like, oh yeah, like I found it at work. They just mailed it to me. Like, that's crazy. Because I knew that I shouldn't have been worried about it. And she was like, yeah, that is crazy, because I was literally, when you told me that you had lost your ID card, I was literally thinking, oh, mail. Like, usually people, when ID cards are lost, people drop it in their mailbox, or, you know, like something. She just thought mail. Like, that's what she was thinking about. And I was like, dang, that's crazy, because God not only works with you in your mind, God works with other people, and the people you surround yourself with are so important. Because I don't know, it's just like a testimony to like God not only works in your life, but the people around you, and he's in everyone's lives, and you gotta listen and you gotta watch and you gotta pay attention. So I just thought that was a really cool thing to add, because I forgot to add that. But yes, anyways, back to what this girl was saying. And then I started to think of this time when I was in college. I was a residential advisor. I was an RA. I was living on campus and had lost my school ID. Get you into your dorm for one, but as a residential advisor, it gets you into certain buildings that regular students don't have access to. So I lost my school ID. I prided myself on never losing my school ID for, this is my second year there, for the whole year and a half that I had been there already, and boom, I lose it. And I'm just like irritated, like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Like, what do I don't want to pay this, I don't want to pay this $30. I don't know where it was. Like, it was just this whole thing, and I was just so irritated. But again, it reminded me of that situation, because I didn't have that sense of urgency and worry like one would have if they had lost their ID, you know? This was like before I was really serious about my faith. So I was just like, God, if you're really real, like, bring me my ID, please, because I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need it. Like, please, God, like, where is it at? Like, please. It was just like, you know, like, oh my gosh, God, if you're real, do this for me, please. Like, not in the way of like, oh, like, I'm just asking you for something and then I'll, you know, do the thing. But it was more of like, okay, like, I'm starting to feel this feeling. Maybe it's you. How about you? Like, can you show me that it's you? I don't remember how long I had lost it for. But it was a good, like, it was a couple of days for sure. This is the Fenty Hydrating Longwear Concealer that I haven't tried her yet, and I'm very excited. This is shade 400N, made by Mitchell Curve Case. One day I had this class that was like on the back of campus. Like, I did not like walking to this class or this area of campus because it was just so out the way and it was just so irritating to get to. But if you've knew me for the past couple of years, you know that I love my water in this thing, yes, this hydro flask. Okay, this hydro flask has been with me for literally ever, it feels like, at this point. And I go to class and I leave the hydro flask in the class that's in the back of the school, so out the way, it takes you freaking 20 minutes to walk there. Like, I leave it and I need it. Like, that day I decided to go back because, oh, what if maybe it's just still sitting there under my desk. So I go all the way to the other side of campus to get my water bottle. Luckily it was still there. I take this opportunity while I'm already on campus. I might as well just like go study at the library or something, or like go meet up with a friend. As I was walking to the place where I was gonna study or meet my friend, I run into a resident of mine, and he was like, "You're Nyre, right?" Or like, you're my RA, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, well, like, I found your ID." You found my ID? Because I've been looking for her. Like, I was looking for her. Where'd you find her? Like, thank you. And he was telling me like, oh yeah, like one of my friends, like one of the roommates that I lived with, like found it somewhere or something. And I don't know what the story was. Honestly, I don't even remember. I want you to realize something. Let me break it down for you. I left the water bottle I take everywhere with me in the class across campus that takes so long to get to from my dorm, which I was leaving from, and just so happened to run into a resident that I could have ran into 2 seconds away from my dorm, a resident that he was on his way to class. I run into him and he says that he found my ID. Do you know how many strings, how many freaking small moments that God had to set up for us to even cross paths on that side of campus? What if I never lost my water bottle? Like, yeah, like my resident lives like 2 seconds away from me, but the fact that I lost my water bottle and had to go on a journey to get it and ran into the person that had a freaking answer to my, like, the person that I needed something from, like, for us to cross paths that way, because I just so happened to lose my water bottle on this random day in the middle of the day, like, that's insane. That is crazy. That's insane. Like, really think about that. Like, from the moment that resident woke up, from the moment I woke up, and every moment that led to me losing my water bottle, and every moment that led to him walking the path at the same time as me, for us to even interact, kind of, because I was weird, he was kind of shy, like, it was just like this like weird thing. That's insane. So for God to show that he has a hand in my life in such a way that's like, I feel that it's miraculous. Like, that's insane. Like, I don't feel like that just happens, you know what I mean? Like, you ask God for something and then he just sets up, like, for you to cross paths. I don't know, like, it was just so crazy to me, and it was wild. And when I think about God working in my life, when I think he might, like, when I think he isn't, or things don't look the way that I want them to, or whatever, I always think of this freaking water bottle. And that brings me back to my ID and how the same feeling I had. And I don't know, I just think that it's important to realize or remember all the things that God has done for you at any point of your life, however small, however big, however little. Like, he is forever with you, and he will forever guide you. So, like I said, it just reminded me of the ID, and I think it was a much needed reminder that God is still here with me, and that he still cares about what I'm doing and who I'm becoming and how I'm impacting the people around me. This is the Rem Beauty Blush in the shade Opening Night. I had to change the scenery because the lighting was getting on my last nerve, okay? So we're gonna be doing my makeup over here, and you can have a good look at my vanity. So, story 2. So my nephew has been coming over to the house a lot, and we like watch him and stuff, and my mom likes to make him food, of course, because people need to eat, especially small children. One day she had made him waffles, and I haven't had an Eggo waffle in a minute. A little bit later in the day, I had like seen them in the freezer, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna keep that in mind, like we have more, like he didn't eat the rest of them. So I was just like, okay, I'll keep that in mind, like one day if I want a waffle. So the next morning, actually, I wake up and I was like, you know what, like that waffle sound mad good right now, like let me just give you a waffle, please, like, cause it sounded good. And so I go downstairs and I asked my dad a question, and he's like, oh yeah, like our anniversary. Oh my bad. It was the morning of my parents' anniversary, and I was finna make myself breakfast and chomp on it like nobody's business inside of my room watching Scandal. Like, you know what? I was just like, fine, I'll make y'all breakfast, I guess. Like, if you really just want breakfast, like, please, like, whatever. So I reluctantly made my parents breakfast on their marriage anniversary. And that might sound like, oh my gosh, it's nothing, just make them breakfast. No, I made them waffles and a waffle iron. And I feel like that's significant, because if I didn't have the taste for waffles, I wouldn't have gone downstairs and tried to make breakfast, and I just would have starved it out until work. You know what I mean? But it just makes me think like God gives you an appetite for things. And I had an appetite for Eggo waffles, okay? I had an appetite for Eggo waffles, and I was just gonna simply take the rest of the syrup we had and just munch on my waffles. But no, God wanted me to get the pancake mix out, mix it up, and make waffles for my parents. Homemade waffles for my parents. He didn't want me eating those Eggo waffles. But he also wanted me to be a good child. Like, imagine if I had went downstairs and like started smelling up the kitchen with some sausage and Eggo waffles and just went upstairs and gone about my day and had completely forgotten that it was my parents' anniversary. Like, that is just kind of messed up. So I feel like it's just a reminder that God puts things on your palate. God puts things in your taste buds for you to, I don't know, for something better, for maybe even other people, you know? It's not all about you, you know? Y'all, the sun is hitting the disco in my room and it's making it look all cute and stuff. But as I was saying, your girl is struggling with her single life and staying to, not only, it's not a struggle remaining single, it's a struggle to keep in mind that my sights don't need to be set on finding a boyfriend and wanting a boyfriend. Like, that's not the point of singleness season. The point of singleness season is to be getting closer to God. And one thing, I have not cracked open that Bible in a minute. I just wanted to share a couple of stories that have been on my mind and a few things that God has put on my mind to tell y'all, because I feel like those are very important stories to my faith and my journey, and I just want to share that with you guys because I've been thinking about it recently and I feel that it's something cool to share. And then I wanted to talk about what's going on up here. There's a lot of space up there. Not inside, just on the outside. Anyways, we'll see you later. Thanks.